mean, doing this talk is awesome, but the most awesome thing is making Mary Larkin pronounce my last name in public. That is my favorite thing about today. So we don't have much time to 5 minutes, so I don't have much time to warm you up, so we're just going to dig right into things. What you see up there is essentially how high school students perceive various aspects of life at Eastern University. What you see toward the top are things that they're possibly looking at more favorably, such as our availability of academic programs and costs, etc. And what you see way down at the bottom are some of the things that I feel like we have to get to work on, and that is campus setting and their perception of our campus setting and what being an Ypsilanti means to them. I'm glad that my brother from another mother went right before me, because I think we're kind of in sync on this one. So this year we've really been thinking about how do we, as a volunteer center on campus, essentially change the way that we approach this idea of community in order to make our students feel like they are part of a community. The community involvement isn't something that's incredibly scary and crazy. So we're starting this new approach by essentially in two phases. The first one being redefining space. And really short and simple, we're trying to take as much as we can off campus and take it into our community. So as many events as we possibly can, we're trying to hold them in the community. In September, we hung out in Detroit for the weekend. We took our coordinators on a retreat to Detroit. We stayed at the Hostel Detroit, a nonprofit in the city. Some of my friends back there were with us. And we used the hostel as our learning space, as our sleeping space, as our super crowded bathroom space. But we got a chance to hang out in the city and to connect with the city and to form some new partnerships with nonprofits, with restaurants, with neighborhoods, etc. Similarly, we are doing something with our alternative spring break program, which is, again, taking an event that would have been on campus traditionally and taking it off campus. We're holding our reorientation at Easy's in downtown Ypsi as a way of encouraging our students to come back to the community after serving all over the country and spark that connection with Ypsilanti and with their local community. But we also understand that building this relationship with the community has to come from a reciprocal, manner. So as much as we should be going out into the community to hang out in their space and to be out there, we also need to make it as easy as possible for community members to come to. And since January, we've been working with the Y on a new concept in our office, which is establishing a community desk. Basically, a representative from the Y works remotely out of our office 1 day a week and uses our space to meet with potential volunteers and also current volunteers as a way of supporting them as they volunteer at the Y. What we've found, what we know, is that our students are a little bit apprehensive about going out there and meeting community partners for the first time. It's kind of like a little first date that they're not so comfortable with. So if we can make that happen in a space that's comfortable for them, why not? So we're hoping to expand this with other partners such as Boys and Girls Club, et cetera, next. So that brings me to this kind of bigger idea, which is that we really need to start thinking about what do we mean when we say community, and how do we define community? And at an institution where so many of our students are transfer students, are commuter students, are non-traditional students, are we limiting them by saying our community is the Ypsilanti Harbor area? Can we do something to make them feel like Eastern is connected to their communities? So we are exploring new partnerships for our students to volunteer in Detroit, in the Pinckney area, in Brighton, in Grand Rapids, in Northern Ohio, so that if they want to do their LBC there, we're going to just come to them, and we're going to encourage the idea of community involvement wherever that community is for our students. I know that none of these are really revolutionary, and I mean, let's be real, like, I'm already over my time, so how revolutionary can I get in 5 minutes, right? But I just want to encourage you to walk away with one idea, which is that we should start thinking about the idea of community involvement that stretches beyond the confines of